So to the 9% of my audience that don't celebrate Christmas, I'm sorry for your loss. Wintertime is well upon us now, and I have some thoughts on it that I'd like to share. Also relating to Christmas because, let's be honest, that's basically the only good thing about winter. I'm joking, please don't kill me, I have a family. Things have gotten a lot colder, as is winter tradition, and having spent enough time on the internet to realize how things work around here, I figured I should probably elaborate on this topic. Oddly enough, this has become one of the most controversial topics on all of the internet, because if I say that cold for me is 20 degrees Fahrenheit, there's bound to be dozens of people saying that I'm pathetic and that 20 degrees isn't even that cold, to which some other person is going to come in and say that that person is pathetic as well, and that they were raised by polar bears in the Arctic and can withstand temperatures as low as negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And then there's gotta be that one kid that was raised on Jupiter. I think you understand what I'm getting at. Point is, cold is subjective. Someone who spent their entire life living in 70-degree weather will likely find 30 degrees to be cold, and someone who's lived their entire life in 100-degree weather will possibly find 50 degrees to be cold, as outlandish as that might seem to some people. People have different definitions of cold, and that's okay. You don't need to commit verbal homicide because Jupiter Boy over here had a heat stroke during the wintertime. That being said, I have mixed opinions on the cold. For the most part, I actually really like cold weather, because I don't have to be in it. When the weather outside is frightful, things inside become a lot warmer. One of the greatest, coziest feelings in the world is stepping inside after being outside in the cold, getting some hot chocolate, and then curling up by the fireplace with a pet on your lap, and I will willingly fight anyone who says otherwise. There's no other time in the year in which hot cocoa tastes this frickin' good, and thus spawns dozens of the comfiest memories I have. Christmas itself is a really comfy holiday for me, and as time has gone by, the biggest thing I started looking forward to come this time of year has transitioned from the presents to the excuse not to leave my house. I'm legally allowed to be a couch potato without anyone judging me, which is the only difference between this and the other 75% of the year. This, the overwhelming smell of pine, and the murderously passionate Christmas music fans pretty much sums up my major memories of the holiday. And speaking of these overly fervent fans, oh boy, I'm about to offend a person or two. You guys scare me. I'm pretty sure we all know that one person who comes into school the day after Thanksgiving with a speaker attached to their back, practically injecting Christmas music into their bloodstream. It got to the point where anytime I heard that one godforsaken Mariah Carey song, that shall not be named, I would physically start to sweat. Okay, that's a lie. The song just kinda gets on my nerves, you know? Outside of that, not many interesting things happen for Christmas in my family. We do get some pretty impressive looking Christmas tree present supplies. Is there a word for that? As one of the added benefits of having an absurd number of siblings, and the fact that I get to live in a middle-class family, which I'm obviously very thankful for. A more recent tradition is going to visit my older sister and her family and spending the remainder of the year with them, which is actually a trip I'm going to partake in almost immediately after this video gets uploaded. New Year's is something that I've become more and more apprehensive towards in the past few years, as a byproduct of the looming threat of adulthood. Still though, I find the idea of staying awake to watch the time tick forward onto the new year pretty neat, if a bit underwhelming. When I think of specific New Year's experiences I've had, 3 come to mind. One time while I was up at said sister's house, I was lying on the floor waiting for midnight to pass, watching an entire Let's Play on my phone, and the second it hit 12 o'clock I passed out instantly. Like, I remember staring at my phone for all of the final minute, and then the second the clock ticked midnight, the light switch in my brain was immediately flipped off. Not like that. One year I straight up skipped it because I was experiencing major teenage angst, and while I do partially regret it, something in my brain is proud of the fact that I successfully managed to rebel against this ultimately inconsequential social construct. I shouldn't be proud of that. And finally, last year's experience was perhaps one of the dumbest. I had been invited upstairs to partake in a New Year's celebration of sorts with my siblings and my dad. Unfortunately, I was exhausted, so I decided to ask my sister to wake me up when the time came, and promptly collapsed on the couch. 2 hours later, she woke me up as promised, 2 minutes before the new year. Let's just say it took a bit more than 2 minutes for me to realize what was going on. And that has been my winter experience. Hopefully you guys managed to enjoy your holiday season, even if you don't celebrate Christmas. To the 0.4% of my audience living in the southern hemisphere, happy birthday, I guess. Final video of the year. Sorry that it ended up being short. I didn't want a repeat of last time when I spent a ridiculously large amount of time working on a video, only for YouTube to suppress it. Speaking of which, if you'd like to spread some holiday love this season, I'd appreciate it if you left a like on this video, as it does help out a little bit in the algorithm. And the only other time I asked for likes on a video, it ended up performing really well, so I guess I can hope for the best. Okay, bye.